बचपन में हम सबका सपना होता था ना, एस्ट्रोनॉट बनना. Being able to fly around in zero gravity was an experience all of us wanted to have. Those sophisticated spacesuits and complicated technologies. I remember my class 3 teacher asked me, who was your role model? And I had said Neil Armstrong. But as I grew up, I realized how much mathematics and physics is required to become an astronaut. And I gave up that dream. But what if I told you that I'll fly you to the moon and back? May not just be a sentence that a love-struck boyfriend says to impress his girlfriend. And it's not something way far in the future. It's coming, and it's coming fast. So fasten your seatbelts as this spaceship is all set to take off. Welcome to Dil Mange More, where every week we, the Geek Squad, will take you on a trip through a universe of astonishing innovations, high-tech tales, and curious cases of the geek world. Intelligence से artificial intelligence तक, cars से Mars तक, Bitcoin से robotics तक, cloud gaming से cyber shaming तक. Geek Squad is always seeking, looking, eating, drinking, breathing, telling stories of unsatiable thirst for knowledge and information.
This podcast is brought to you by global technology leader Taiwan Excellence. Did you know that out of 135 economies, Taiwan is 5th in the world in latest Bloomberg's Global Innovation Index on the basis of IT deepening, human capital, business fluctuation and institutional quality measures? Stay tuned because Dil Mange More.
Just like you and me, Dennis Tito also dreamt of going to space. लेकिन उसमें और हम में फर्क सिर्फ इतना है that he was an American billionaire who could spare tons of money to fulfill his dreams. As a child, he heard about the Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin, the first human to travel in space in 1961. And since then, he was determined to go to space himself. He said in an interview, "I wasn't just someone saying, oh, I want to become famous and fly in space. This was a goal I set in 1961. NASA wasn't even sure about letting a civilian go to space like this. But then, money makes the world go round, right? Tito managed to fulfill his dreams for $20 million. Tito described his historic trip as 8 days of euphoria. After coming back, he said, the pencil started floating in the air, and I could see the blackness of space and the curvature of the earth. Tito spent those 8 days looking out of the window, videoing the earth, the potholes, and the station. But you know what the most shocking part was? That this happened more than 20 years back. In fact, space tourism is not as new a concept as you might think. While the government agencies chose not to pursue that route, industrialists and entrepreneurs realized it's a big opportunity. तो चाहे जेफ बेजोस की ब्लू ओरिजिन हो, या इलॉन मस्क की स्पेस एक्स, या फिर रिचर्ड ब्रांसन की वर्जिन गैलेक्टिक, सब इस रेस में दौड़ने लगे. Jeff Bezos though has made a trip himself. The race to send the common man to space is heating up. And there is one more person who has done his bit in fastening this process. And his name is Peter Diamandis. Peter spent his childhood in Long Island, New York, obsessed with space, dreaming of being an astronaut. Inspired by the first Apollo 11 moonwalk and the near-death adventure of Apollo 13. Peter was so obsessed with space that he even started International Space University in 1987 in France. Peter kept experimenting, trying to accomplish small projects of trying to send some payload into space or the other. But he kept tasting failure. Long story short, he said, it was a chicken and egg situation. In order for us to attract money, we needed to get contracts. And the only people with big contracts were the government. And the government wasn't willing to take any risks. Peter realized he needed to think out of the box. He was facing a problem that no one had faced before. To solve this, he had to do something that no one had done before. He looked at his pursuit as that of an explorer or an adventurer. So he started researching awards won by those kinds of people. What he found changed the way he looked at the challenge in front of him. Peter found out about a $25,000 prize in 1919, which was given to anyone who could fly across the Atlantic Ocean from New York to Paris. बस फिर क्या था? एक होड़ सी मच गई. Many people dropped everything they were doing and started trying to win this prize. And it worked. It led to a boom in aviation with a flurry of innovation in the domain. Peter realized how prizes draw on competition and drive people with a clear goal. It can lead to sometimes crazy, sometimes genius ideas. Then why not try this in space travel and jumpstart a commercial space industry? And was he right? Or was he right? Peter announced the X Prize Foundation, offering a $10 million reward, nearly a 32 crore rupees to the first non-governmental organization to launch a reusable crewed spacecraft into space twice within 2 weeks. The aim was to encourage the space industry in the private sector. The entries were not allowed to have any government funding. It took some time, from 1995 to 2004, but things finally got rolling. और जैसा सोचा था, वैसा ही हुआ. The private players were now all geared up, developing and creating reusable crewed spacecraft, fiercely competing for the prize money. तो ऐसे ही step by step, we are now standing at a stage where space tourism is on the verge of being accessible to every millionaire next door.
Founded in 1976 with a presence in more than 160 countries, Acer evolves with the industry and changing lifestyles. Being one of the world's top ICT companies, this brand is focused on enabling a world where hardware, software and services will fuse with one another, creating new possibilities for consumers and businesses alike that break barriers between people and technology.
But would space travel always be an uncomfortable and scary experience? Can it be something we genuinely actually enjoy? For it to be called tourism, it needs to be pleasurable, right? Imagine being in a temperature-controlled room in space and getting a deep tissue massage in a spa. That will be the ultimate luxury experience. This is the dream that Voyager space station intends to fulfill by making the world's first space hotel. Yes, you heard that right. जैसे नैनीताल और मनाली जाते हो ना, वैसे ही you can check into a hotel in space. And we're not even talking about a distant imaginary future. It's scheduled to be completed as early as 2027. Now this will truly be a hotel out of this world. And this is one hotel where no one can complain about the view. In a spaceship that will complete a revolution of Earth in every 90 minutes, the guests will also have access to a movie theater and a library. लेकिन मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ, ऐसा कौन है जो स्पेस में जाकर इनको यूज करना चाहेगा? Don't get me wrong, I love movies and books. But if I'm getting a few days in space, I would probably have more exciting things to do. For example, they also have an option of playing basketball in a low gravity area. Now that's something I'd love to do. For once, I'll be able to jump right to the basket and score. They would also have artificial gravity on the spaceship. अब आप सोच रहे होगे, लो, gravity free experience के लिए ही तो space जाना था. But don't worry, the gravity will not be on all the time. And you will get your quota of being gravity free as well. The station is designed in a way that it will keep rotating around its center. और उसी movement की वजह से generate होगी gravity. नहीं समझे? Easy words में समझाती हूँ. अगर पानी को बाल्टी में तेज रोटेट करो तो वो बाल्टी की दीवारों से सट जाता है ना? वैसे ही, when the space station will rotate, the residents will feel gravity equivalent to that of the moon. तो बताइए, would you want to go to a hotel like that? Chances are it would only be affordable for billionaires for several decades to come. But if you had the opportunity, would you go? Yes? Remember the last time you were in a flight and there was a turbulence? अगर उसमें भगवान का नाम लेना शुरू कर दिया था, तो स्पेस को हैंडल कर पाओगे क्या? With that, this is Sapna Bhatt from the Geek Squad signing off for today. तो कैसा लगा स्पेस टूरिज्म की स्टोरी सुनकर? अभी तो कहानी बस शुरू हुई है. But what if I told you there is a completely different side of space travel, which you should also know about? Things may not be all rosy, as I might have led you to believe in this episode. That's what we are going to talk about in our next episode. Till then, like and follow Taiwan Excellence India on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
This podcast is produced by Taiwan Excellence.